Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Where the Crawdads Sing. And this is from director Olivia Newman, and based off of the novel from Dillahunt. And this film focuses on a woman who raised herself in the marshes of the deep south, becomes a suspect in the murder of a man she was once involved with. And this is a drama, crime, thriller, mystery here. It's a mix of elements of coming of age as this young woman is stuck in the marshes, raising herself after her whole family abandons her. Even like Garret Dillahunt pops up as her dad, as Pa, and he's just this over-the-top caricature of an abusive father. And this girl grows up to be played by Daisy Edgar-Jones, who is one of the strongest elements of this film. And she previously was in the show Normal People, which is fantastic. She was in Under the Banner of Heaven. She was in that movie Fresh that came out this year. She really gets to shine the most, obviously, in this film. And I think she does a really good job trying to carry this film that doesn't really know exactly what it wants to be all the time. And there's a couple of love interests throughout the film that she has. Originally, she has Tate, played by Taylor John Smith, who, I'm just going to put this out here, both Taylor John Smith, who plays Tate, and Harris Dickinson, who plays Chase. Neither of them are particularly interesting, neither of their performances are particularly interesting, and neither of their characters are really written well either. And it's just, I don't buy any of the love going on in this film from a romantic perspective. And obviously with Chase's whole thing, he's the one who gets murdered. He's the one who's abusive and a rapist and just a piece of crap. And it's like, this guy had it coming, but this leans into that whole entire thing where it's like, she's a woman at a certain time, they're just gonna blame her, said she was asking for it because he's a high society piece of crap, and he winds up dead. She gets put on trial, and all the courtroom scenes in this feel like the most stereotypical ripped from a courtroom drama movie ever. And I really feel bad for David Strathairn because he's doing his best as her lawyer to make these sequences stand out in some shape or form, and he's great, but like, they just don't. And really, it's Jumpin' and Mabel, played by Sterling Macer Jr. and Michael Hyatt, who are the only other ones where it's like I felt like genuine love between them and Kaya, our quote-unquote marsh girl. The film has some great ideas about, you know, society and these ideas that people have of others. There's definitely classism going on. It's dealing with old Southern sexism at the time, and it's dealing with, especially through her lens of being a naturalist, of how human beings are similar to other beings out there in nature and what they need to do to survive. And these themes could have been fleshed out in a more interesting way, but they're really not. And I feel like a lot of this film, it can be cringy and over the top and just purely melodramatic all throughout. There's only a few scenes where I felt like there was some real hefty weight to them, and unfortunately there were the scenes where she's being harmed and there's violence put upon her. And I feel like the rest of your film should be doing what it needs to do so those scenes aren't the only ones that feel real where she's getting brutalized. And how this film wraps up, I feel like, from how it sets up all throughout, didn't make a whole lot of sense and just feels like a big shock for the sake of a shock moment. And you're just, I was kind of just sitting there like, of course they would do this. Of course, this is how they would wrap up this movie, because you couldn't just have a regular happy ending, but they were trying to, I guess, connect back to some of the themes that were undercooked in terms of nature and what we need to do to survive. And overall, besides a few strong performances, and Hyatt in general, who I like as a character, I don't think this film offers up a whole lot of interesting, of anything, of any kind of substance or depth. And, you know, it's kind of the same feel of like a beach read, where it's just like you want something sleazy and melodramatic and over the top and ridiculous. That's this movie. So if you're ready for something like that, sure, go check this out. If you want something more than that, this isn't going to give it to you. But those are my thoughts on Where the Crawdads Sing. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.